Special elections concluded and negotiations to end the government shutdown stagnant. At least publicly, eyes fall again on the scandal Donald Trump and his winged monkeys can't seem to shake. The onus of the Epstein files. While Virginia's memoir is being prepared for publication, another scandal is unfolding in Washington. During his 2024 presidential campaign, Donald Trump makes a promise to his base. If elected, he will release all the Epstein files, every document, every flight log, every piece of evidence the government possesses. Tease a powerful campaign promise. Trump supporters have long believed there's a client list, a master document proving that Epstein blackmailed powerful figures across politics, business, and entertainment. They believe the deep state is hiding this list to protect elites. Trump positions himself as the outsider who will expose it all.
Prince Andrew will no longer be a prince. The extraordinary announcement tonight from Buckingham Palace, pushed out of the royal family over his ties to the late convicted sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. King Charles stripping his brother of all his titles. He will effectively no longer be royal, something that has not happened in more than a century. He's also being kicked out of his royal residence. It's a scandal the palace has not been able to shake. Late today, the palace releasing a 3-paragraph statement saying the king initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles and honours of Prince Andrew, adding the prince will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The palace saying formal notice has now been served to surrender the lease on Royal Lodge, where Andrew has lived for more than 20 years. The palace statement ending, these censures are deemed necessary, notwithstanding the fact that he continues to deny the allegations against him. Their Majesties wish to make clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been and will remain with the victims and survivors of any and all forms of abuse. Andrew once hosted Epstein, Harvey Weinstein and Ghislaine Maxwell at that sprawling 30-bedroom mansion, seen here at an 18th birthday party for Andrew's daughter Beatrice in 2006. The Epstein scandal raging for years, with Virginia Giuffre alleging Epstein trafficked her for sex with Andrew.
He knows exactly what he's done.
A claim he denies.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady.
This, the notorious photo, the soon-to-be former prince with Giuffre at Maxwell's home, presented to him in this infamous 2019 interview, which backfired spectacularly.
Trump's Justice Department makes a last-ditch effort. They ask federal courts to unseal grand jury testimony from Epstein's criminal cases. It's a PR move. Grand jury records are a tiny fraction of the government's full file. 3 separate federal judges reject the requests. One judge, Richard Berman, calls it a diversion from the 100,000 pages of Epstein files the government already possesses and can release without court approval. By September 2025, the House Oversight Committee releases 33,000 pages of Epstein documents, about a third of what the DOJ has. Much of it is redundant or heavily redacted. Polls show a majority of Americans, including Republicans, believe the Trump administration is hiding information. The conspiracy theories Trump once weaponized have now turned against him.
Members of the US Congress writing to Andrew, formally requesting an interview with him in connection with his friendship with the paedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. Joining us now is our US correspondent, David Blevins. So Congress wants to talk to him. David, what is the chance of Andrew heading over to Washington?
No response yet from Andrew Mountbatten Windsor in relation to this request from the House Oversight Committee. That is the congressional committee that has been investigating Jeffrey Epstein, the group, for example, that has been releasing some of the documents like the so-called birthday book that there has been so much focus on in recent months. But I can tell you that 16 members of the committee, all Democrats, have now written to the former Duke of York, and they say they believe he may have crucial information about co-conspirators and enablers of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. If I go on and read some more of that letter, it said that they note that the former Duke's friendship with Epstein reportedly began in 1999 and that they remained close even after the financier's 2008 conviction for procuring minors for prostitution. It goes on, it has also been reported that you travelled with Epstein to his New York residence, the Queen's residence at Balmoral, and to Epstein's private island in the US Virgin Islands, where you've been accused of abusing minors, they write. And this close relationship with Epstein, coupled with the recently revealed 2011 email exchange in which you wrote to him, "We are in this together," further confirms our suspicion that you may have valuable information about the crimes committed by Epstein and his co-conspirators. And they have asked the former Duke of York to appear before them by November 20th, they say, because of the urgency and gravity of this matter. Of course, he has been under renewed scrutiny after the publication of Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir, detailed 3 in...
Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison. Prince Andrew is disgraced. Donald Trump remains defiant. And Virginia Giuffre is gone. But her words endure. In Nobody's Girl, Virginia writes, "Don't be fooled by those in Epstein's circle who say they didn't know what he was doing. Anyone who spent any significant amount of time with Epstein saw him touching girls. They can say they didn't know he was raping children. But they were not blind." Virginia Giuffre spent the last 2 decades of her life fighting a battle most people told her she couldn't win. She was too young, too traumatized, too damaged. The men she accused were too rich, too famous, too protected. But she fought anyway. And in her final act, a memoir published after her death, she achieved something extraordinary.